African rand gained yesterday as the US dollar eased off a more than 2-week high hit earlier in the day. Meanwhile, locally, reports spread that the governing party has suspended one of its top officials, Ace Magashule. Now, the Johannesburg Stock Exchange's all-share index closed in the green at 67,346 points, and the blue chip index rising by 1.29%. For a look now at how the markets have opened this morning, we're joined by Chief Investment Officer at Makwe Fund Managers, that's Makwe Masilela. But Masilela, thank you very much for your time talking to us from Gagasini this morning. The JSE tracking firmer on Wednesday. Give us a sense of how the markets have opened today amid the rumblings in the governing party.
Good morning to you and to the viewers. We managed to open in the green, and remember yesterday we closed solidly up 1.7% or so, and that's in line with what is happening globally. We're tracking what is happening with the international peers, and all because we know that we've been worried about inflation, but yesterday we had more of what we call a relief rally because we had the U.S. Treasury Secretary clarifying her comments that interest rates have to go up somehow, but now she has said, listen, I'm not recommending that the U.S. Federal Reserve must increase interest rates. Hence, we saw that nice relief rally, and it's continuing this morning because now markets are pinning up their hopes on this whole thing of the economic recovery. As we've seen that major economies are opening up, where US, where European markets, the economies thereof are opening up. So we're banking on that. Hence, we continue to see this kind of rally. Yes, it's not a convincing open because we're just up 0.2%. And also with the US dollar being soft, the treasury yields also been down. That is also helping the gold price, which continues to be solid with the likes of palladium because it's going up because people think there will be shortage thereof going forward.
Yeah, let's talk about oil prices. But Masilela, they rose in early trade, recouping the early losses. Now this as crude oil stockpiles in the U.S. What's driving the sentiment there?
We need to understand that the U.S. is the major oil consumer. So the minute you see some drawdowns, it means there is demand for that particular oil. So hence oil prices will go up. And now, yes, we know that with the opening of the economies, with the likes of Europe opening up even tourists, then there will be demand for jet fuel. That will continue to help oil prices. Hence, we expect oil prices to just trade around or continue to fleet with the $70 a barrel.
Yeah.
And as a result, that managed to offset the concerns that we have when it comes to the likes of India and Japan, and they happen to be the third and the fourth largest oil consumer. So people are banking more on the reopening, and that demand will pick up going forward. Hence, we see oil prices at this elevated level, which I guess is not good news for us as South Africans.
Yeah, let me ask this question directly, but Masilela, I alluded to it right at the beginning. Are the markets jittery at all about what looks like instability in the ANC?
With due respect, not at all. And maybe later, because now what do we see as market participants? We see people with a lot of paper and ink writing to each other. Markets want action. And I think what will be more important for the markets is the outcome of the NEC meeting, which is supposed to be happening over the weekend. And so far, the way things are, it shows as if nothing serious will be happening when it comes to the government itself, when it comes to the cabinet itself. Surely we need to understand market participants who are happy when we see that there's no one party dominating. So should this also mean that maybe ANC will lose some of its power, then we get more of a balanced government going forward? Markets will definitely appreciate that because markets generally, and it's not only South African markets, they don't like a situation where you've got only one party dominating. So probably this can turn out to be good news for the markets going forward.
Yeah, perhaps as a final question then, Makwe Masilela, the data published by Eskom this week showing that the utility has not been able to generate enough electricity to adequately meet the peak, particularly in the evening demand. This is ahead of the Moodys review tomorrow. What are your expectations?
You know, That's one thing that can definitely move the markets in a negative way, because we are worried about the supply of energy. We've been worried that this whole thing of inadequate energy coming from the likes of Eskom is definitely not helping our economy. And the likes of Moodys, when they look at their review, they look into stuff like that. What is the economic growth? Because the more you grow, then the more you'll be able to collect revenue, then you'll be able to have money to pay for whatever you need to spend on. So yes, as much as already we are already in junk as per Moodys, and our outlook is negative. We don't expect them to change anything. I think they have to wait up until maybe the October midterm budget and all the plans that the finance minister put in place, whether they come to fruition, as he promised that they have to do some structural reforms. So I think they'll give us a little bit of time. And anyway, any decision that we make, already everything has been baked into asset prices. We are in junk, and we've got a very negative outlook.
Makwe Masilela, Chief Investment Officer at Makwe Fund Managers. Thanks indeed for your time.